The woman never could have imagined that just trying to stand and pee would lead to her crossing through space and time into a beast world the very next second, where she would be fiercely fought over by various big shots. Not only was there the gentle and gentlemanly White Lion general, but also the wild, dark-skinned Black Panther deputy. The rabbit doctor even transformed into a spiritual form, begging for cuddles every night. And Su Yaoyao, who had just undergone this isekai journey, was now surrounded by 3 giant wild boars. "It's a female. Don't any of you dare fight. She's mine." The big boars locked onto their target and charged toward her one after another. Su Yaoyao was so scared she turned and ran. Pig demons. In her panic, she tripped over a loose stone. A piercing pain shot through her leg. The 3 boars caught up to her effortlessly and surrounded her in the middle. Su Yaoyao's voice trembled, heavy with tears as she said, "I don't have much meat on me. Please don't eat me. I can't hold back anymore. I must mate with her." Mate? Su Yaoyao's eyes widened. Only then did she finally understand. These male beasts didn't want to eat her. They wanted to do that with her. With a bang, the previously ferocious-looking boars instantly transformed into 3 imposing naked men. Su Yaoyao couldn't help but take a few more glances and swallowed hard. No way, even the pig demons in this world are this good-looking? But handsome as they are, she didn't want to be mated with. But before she could retreat more than a few steps, she bumped right into the embrace of one of the men. "The little female chose me. I want to be the first." Instantly, she was embraced from behind by a burly man. A chill ran through her body. A sharp, piercing scream erupted from Su Yaoyao's mouth. Tears also fell like broken strings of pearls, ceaselessly. Just an instant, her mouth was covered by the male behind her. "Little female, save some strength. You can scream later. She smells so good. Her skin is fair and tinged with a delicate pink. Too tempting. How about the 3 of us go together? I really can't wait any longer." 3 males pressed close against her. Hot breath continuously sprayed onto her fair, tender skin. Su Yaoyao struggled incessantly, but her strength was far too feeble. She was simply no match for 3 adult beastmen. Accepting this fact by default, she could only close her eyes in despair. Tears streamed down, sliding from the corners of her eyes. A majestic white lion instantly pounced on the male in front of her, knocking him down, pinning him beneath its sharp claws. The sharp claws sank directly into flesh, leaving deep gashes. It turned its head to warn the other males with a look. Its eyes were wide open, glittering with a terrifying, fierce light. Its bloody maw suddenly gapped open. From it erupted an earth-shaking. This roar was like a surging thunderclap, rolling and echoing across the grassland, startling the surrounding birds into frantic flight. The ground itself seemed to tremble. This roar scared Su Yaoyao into collapsing onto the ground. The white lion leaped and arrived in front of Su Yaoyao, baring its teeth and glaring fiercely at the other 2 males. Those 3 males could no longer bother with Su Yaoyao, and all transformed back into 4-legged wild boars to flee for their lives, after urgently driving away the males who disrespected the little female. The white lion relaxed its strength, looking again at the little female. She was so scared she didn't dare move a muscle, silently retreating a few steps back. Oh no, it must have been because he was too rough just now, and frightened the little female. And the little female's clothes. The tall white lion turned around in a circle, turned its back to Su Yaoyao, and transformed back into human form. Su Yaoyao's pupils trembled, watching so directly as the white lion turned into a handsome guy with white hair, neat and tidy short hair, broad shoulders and a narrow waist, wearing a military uniform, accentuating his upright posture. His height, estimated to be at least 1.9 meters, just from the back view. He really was a super, incomparably handsome guy. Bai Liang blushed. He had just seen the little female's body. A female's body is something only a chosen beast husband has the honor to see. Quickly taking off his military jacket, noble female. If possible, please make do for now. And wear my military uniform. Su Yaoyao was stunned. After understanding his words, she also realized that he meant no harm, and carefully stood up. But the injured foot sent a sharp pain. Ouch! Instantly, she fell back down again. Su Yaoyao frowned in pain. Tiny pearls hung at the corners of her eyes. Bai Liang heard the commotion behind him. His heart skipped a beat, yet he didn't dare turn around recklessly. Noble female, what's wrong with you? He could only ask with concern. Su Yaoyao bit her lower lip tightly. Enduring the pain, my ankle seems to be sprained. I can't stand up. Bai Liang was extremely worried. Hearing the little female's voice, already carrying a hint of tears, afraid it must be very painful. I apologize, he said. Bai Liang turned around. Su Yaoyao, startled, covered her chest with torn clothing scraps. Her previously pale little face flushed red again. She peeked up at the man, only to realize his eyes were closed. The man kept his eyes tightly shut. Long eyelashes fell like a fan. His face was perfectly sculpted, features distinct and three-dimensional. She felt that if he opened his eyes, this face would be extraordinarily handsome. Bai Liang estimated the distance in his mind, stopping accurately and without error in front of Su Yaoyao. He knelt on one knee, holding the military uniform in both hands, offering it to Su Yaoyao. Please use it. Su Yaoyao looked at Bai Liang somewhat surprised. This was the first time a man had knelt on one knee before her. Her fair, jade-like fingers carefully took the military uniform, softly saying, "Thank you." Bai Liang's heart rippled with emotion. In this world where females are few and males are many, females can not only practice polyandry, but also enjoy the highest interstellar treatment. So most females are spoiled and unreasonable. One as kind and polite as to say thank you is truly rare. And she is extremely beautiful. Bai Liang recalled the little female's appearance. After a soft rustling of clothes, the sweet voice sounded again. I'm dressed. Only then did Bai Liang slowly open his eyes. His deep blue eyes were as pure as the blue sky. Su Yaoyao stared dazedly at the handsome man before her, even temporarily forgetting the pain from the injury on her foot. Goodness, everyone in the beast chamber is top-notch. A handsome man? Su Yaoyao's direct gaze made Bai Liang's cheeks flush red, and his oversized military uniform on the little female looked like a child wearing an adult's clothes, only revealing two pale, slender legs. Bai Liang stared at the two legs for a few seconds, then hurriedly shifted his gaze. Noble female, the injury on your foot is quite serious. Please come with me back to the military base. The military doctors at the base will treat you. Su Yaoyao blinked. Military base. As an ordinary university student from a peaceful world, she rarely came into contact with such terms. Sensing the little female's confusion, Bai Liang then remembered he hadn't introduced himself yet. The little female might still think he's a bad person. I forgot to introduce myself. Noble female. My name is Bai Liang. I am a general from the first military base of the Star Glory Empire. It is an honor to serve you. Bai Liang knelt on one knee on the ground, his right hand placed over his heart, performing a standard salute. Su Yaoyao looked at the handsome white-haired man before her. Quite the gentleman. Currently, she was in an unfamiliar place with no acquaintances. Her foot was also sprained. If she encountered another savage male, she definitely wouldn't be able to handle it. A soldier should be more reliable. Alright, I'm willing to go with you. Upon hearing this, Bai Liang, the corners of his mouth lifted. He let out a pleased, relieved breath. He had thought his previous rough, beastly behavior had frightened the little female, that she would be unwilling to go with him. But my foot is injured. I can't walk. Su Yaoyao lowered her head dejectedly, thinking about how to get to the military base. Pardon me, Bai Liang stood up and lifted her from the ground in a princess carry. Su Yaoyao let out a surprised gasp. Originally leaning against a solid chest, she found herself riding atop a large lion. Noble female, please hold on to my neck. We should reach the base in about 15 minutes. Alright, by the way, my name is Su Yaoyao. You can also call me Yaoyao. You always calling me noble female. I'm not quite used to it. Yaoyao, Bai Liang. The female's voice spoke. He had never, having called a female's name so intimately. Su Yaoyao nodded happily, then obediently leaned down. Bai Liang strode forward, heading towards the military base. His steps were steady and extremely fast. Along the way, he howled into the wind, as if he was sending out some kind of signal. Movement came from all around the jungle, as if some animals were following behind them. Western district of the jungle. Reg narrowed his amber pupils, staring at the large flock of birds suddenly taking flight in the eastern district. He frowned, somewhat displeased. The deputy general, it seems, is the general. They've already found a female over there. Notify everyone. Withdraw and return to base. Let's go, Panny. The little female is injured. Quickly give her a full checkup. Bai Liang carried Su Yaoyao and rushed frantically into the medical department. Panny, the little female is injured. Quickly give her a full checkup. Bai Liang carried Su Yaoyao and rushed frantically into the medical department. Soldiers they encountered along the way all forgot to greet the general. They just stared straight at the female the general brought back, with utterly stunned expressions. And Su Yaoyao also leaned in Bai Ling's arms, looking at them curiously. Her beautiful eyes kept blinking. A female, Bai Liang. The general brought back a female. Oh, my God. It really is a female. She is looking at me. I have never seen such a beautiful female in my entire life. Bai Liang frowned slightly, as if his own treasure was being peeked at. He held Su Yaoyao even tighter, pressing her entire face against his chest, then kicked open the medical department door. Panny, wearing a white coat, was so startled that 2 rabbit ears popped out. Upon seeing it was Bai Liang, she said angrily, even if you were a general, you can't just not knock. Rabbits are naturally timid. He almost thought it was a Zerg invasion. Panny, quickly give the little female a full body checkup. Only then did the female Panny's gaze notice Su Yaoyao in Bai Ling's arms. Su Yaoyao also turned her head from Bai Ling's firm pectoral muscles to look at the person speaking. Pink hair, a pair of peach blossom eyes of the same color, especially those perked up pink and white rabbit ears. They looked very touchable at first glance. He is a rabbit. Then he must also have a little round ball tail, right? Su Yaoyao's eyes shone brightly. She had even thought about raising a little rabbit when she was a child. Bai Liang carried her and placed her into a transparent medical pod. Su Yaoyao felt somewhat uneasy. She had never seen these instruments before. Bai Liang, who had been watching her closely, immediately noticed, soothing her emotions. Yaoyao, don't be afraid. It's just a health checkup. Su Yaoyao. After the cabin door nodded and closed, Panny turned on the machine, began to examine her physical condition. Gender, female species. Human bone age, 18 years old. Physique, weak. Seeing this, Bai Liang frowned deeply. This little female indeed has a very frail constitution. With their beastmen bodies, the injury on Su Yaoyao's leg would heal on its own in just a few minutes. Their physiques were worlds apart. He must never let Su Yaoyao get injured in the future. He must protect her well. Spiritual power detection in progress. Bai Liang and Pani stared intently at the virtual screen in the air. This was the most crucial examination. It even concerned the future of the empire. The rating on the screen began to jump frantically. FEDCBA. Watching the still rising value. Bai Liang's body leaned forward involuntarily. His chest heaved violently, gazing at the screen with extreme longing. Awaiting the important result, Pani also subconsciously held her breath. Her hands had long since clenched into fists unconsciously. Her knuckles turned white from the force. Could she be S rank? The Empire hasn't seen an S rank for tens of thousands of years. Just as he was thinking this, the rating on the screen indeed jumped to S rank. But the very next second, a red exclamation mark appeared on the screen. Machine malfunction. System failure. A mechanical electronic voice sounded. After a puff of smoke, the detection machine went completely dark. Why does it fail at the critical moment? How would I know? This is the first time this machine has detected a female. The mental energy might have been unused for too long. Su Yaoyao looked outside with confusion. She could see that Bai Liang and Pani's expressions weren't very good. But she was inside the medical pod. She couldn't hear any sound. Could it be that they detected some serious illness in her? Pani opened the medical pod. Bai Liang stepped forward and picked Su Yaoyao back into his arms. And Su Yaoyao was still marveling at his boyfriend's strength. He could lift her with just one arm. She sat steadily on his sturdy arm. Her arms encircled Bai Liang's neck. "Liang, can I call you that?" Su Yaoyao had a very favorable impression of Bai Liang. He was the first good person she had met since coming to this other world. He had even saved her. Instinctively, she wanted to get close to him. The tips of Bai Liang's ears turned slightly red. The little female felt soft and fluffy to hold. And she even spoke close to his ear. Her voice was very pleasant. "Yes, Liang is fine. Is there something wrong with my body? I saw your expressions weren't very good." Hearing Su Yaoyao call his name again, Bai Liang's heart stirred with 1,000 waves. Outwardly, he calmly said, "No. Yaoyao is very healthy. It's just that your physique is a bit delicate. In the future, if there's any place you feel unwell, you must tell me immediately. Even the slightest discomfort must be mentioned. Do you understand?" Su Yaoyao nodded obediently. She leaned on Bai Liang's shoulder. "Leon, I'm a bit tired. I want to sleep." Pani stood to the side, crossing his arms. His unhappy expression was very obvious. "I'm not a dog. Why are you feeding me dog food? Pani, help me notify Reg. I need to call an emergency meeting." "Understood?" Pani became serious. This matter concerns a female and is extremely important. He was just about to contact Reg using his light brain. Unexpectedly, a tall figure walked in. "Where's the female?" "She's asleep." Steady breathing sounds reached Bai Liang's ear. He deliberately lowered his voice. Reg narrowed his eyes slightly, looking at the little creature buried in Bai Liang's neck. He couldn't see her face at all, only the back of her head. His gaze swept downward. Bai Liang's strong arms were supporting the little female's buttocks, and below were long legs that even the oversized military uniform couldn't hide, with delicate, tender skin. As if a simple pinch could leave a red mark. And her ankle was clearly injured. The red wound was particularly striking on her body. Bai Liang was dissatisfied with Reg's up and down scrutiny. He walked off holding Su Yaoyao. "In 10 minutes, we'll hold the emergency meeting." Reg's nose twitched delicately. When the little female passed by him, there was a very sweet scent, tempting him from the depths of his soul. But it was only for a moment. After Bai Liang left, Reg immediately pressed Pani. "What is the little female's psychic level?" Pani twitched her rabbit ears. "Carnivores are really scary. So blunt and direct. But I'm afraid you'll be disappointed. Her psychic level wasn't measured. Hearing this, Reg was stunned for a moment, before a short and barely suppressed light laugh escaped his throat. This laugh carried a hint of helplessness and self-mockery. He is an S-class Black Panther beastman. He can only mate with females of the same level or higher. But in the Star Glory Empire, there isn't a single S-class female left anymore. His berserk level has already reached 98%. Once it fully rises to 100%, he will turn into a beast without reason. He might even turn around and harm the comrades he fought alongside. He would rather end himself in advance. When he is about to lose control, Bai Liang carried Su Yaoyao back to his room, gently placed her on the bed. Yaoyao, you'll have to make do and sleep in my room for now. Bai Liang's slender fingertips brushed aside the stray hairs on Su Yaoyao's forehead and smoothed them for her. He gave a light smile. Even though he knew she was asleep, he just wanted to talk to her. Bai Liang fetched the medical kit from the cabinet and treated Su Yaoyao's wounds. Pani originally wanted to bandage Su Yaoyao's wounds, but Bai Liang refused, saying he would personally take care of it for her. Only he could touch Yaoyao's ankle. After treating the wound, Bai Liang covered her with the blanket and softly closed the door, heading to the meeting room. In the meeting room, all the important council members of the base were present. Bai Liang sat solemnly at the head seat, with Reg and Pani seated on his left and right respectively. This morning, female presence was suddenly detected near the base. We immediately dispatched troops to search the jungle. A human female was found in the eastern area of the jungle. Given that her leg is injured, she will need to recuperate at our base for a period of time. During this period, according to the female protection law, she must be given the highest level of treatment. Upon hearing this, Reg sneered coldly. She's just a little waste without psychic power. Is that really necessary? Reg, watch your words. Bai Liang raised his eyes, his sharp gaze sweeping toward Reg. The latter shrugged indifferently. Am I wrong? A female without psychic power simply cannot soothe males. What else is she, if not a waste? Bai Liang pinched the bridge of his nose in frustration. Reg, she is a living being. Life is not measured by ability. She can have her own life and live as she wishes. According to the female regulations established by the Stellar Empire, Su Yaoyao can enjoy favorable treatment within the empire. Her future life will certainly be a happy one. Pani also nodded in agreement. Exactly. Does she even have psychic power? So you can go force her to give you comfort? Reg's pupils instantly turned into vertical slits, glaring fiercely at Pani. If she really has psychic power, even if it's by force, I would do it. As long as it can lower my berserk level by 1 point. Pani trembled under the stare. The rabbit ears popped out again. Reg, have you gone mad? Bai Liang angrily slapped the table. As an imperial soldier, protecting the people is our duty. Now, you actually want to force a female? Reg also slammed the table irritably. I am S grade. You are S's grade. You should know how difficult it is for an S grade male to find a match. And my berserk level has already reached 98%. The stable and warm embrace disappeared. The unease of Su Yaoyao being in and surged over her, causing her to wake up not long after falling asleep. Su Yaoyao opened her eyes blearily. What met her eyes was an unfamiliar room, but it was filled with a familiar scent. The smell of Bai Liang. Is this his room? But the room was empty. It seems Bai Liang is not here. Gurgle. The quiet room echoed with the sound of Su Yaoyao's stomach growling. She rubbed her stomach. So hungry. Su Yaoyao lifted the blanket, preparing to go out and find something to eat. But then she discovered the injured places had all been bandaged and treated. Did Bai Liang bandage her? Su Yaoyao's cheeks flushed slightly. General Bai Liangis really so gentle. Su Yaoyao used her good leg to step onto the ground. Holding onto the wall, she carefully moved towards the door. Yet it was still somewhat strenuous. At that moment, the rumbling in her stomach sounded once again, urging her forward. Su Yaoyao cheered herself on in her heart. She could definitely do it. Dormitory building corridor. Black military boots heavily trod on the corridor's marble floor, clicking and clacking. Foretelling their owner's extremely foul mood, Reg's face was dark and gloomy, cursing a bunch of lowlifes, a bunch of posers. The Zerg are coming. And who do they rely on to fight on the front lines? It's still me. I've sacrificed so much for the Empire. How dare they look at me with that kind of gaze? As if they've already judged him to be a frenzied beast. Look at the enemy monster's eyes, calculating how to erase him. At this moment, Su Yaoyao turned a corner and bumped into Reg, who was venting his anger. Su Yaoyao was startled and instantly opened her eyes, seeing clearly the scene before her. Solid and well developed pectoral muscles strained the shirt high. The buttons tightly pulled at the fabric, as if they were about to burst under the strain. The next second, Reg watched as the little female cautiously looked up. Her moist eyes gazed with curiosity. Innocent and adorable. Reg narrowed his amber pupils. The little female Leon brought back does have some looks. Pity she's a little waste without psychic power. His sharp, sword-like eyebrows raised. What did you just say? Su Yaoyao instinctively shook her head, denying, I didn't say anything, nervously biting her lower lip. Her gaze evasive. The dark-skinned, handsome guy looked fierce, making her instinctively somewhat afraid. Reg disdainfully snorted, get off me quickly. Su Yaoyao sat up, but forgot her injured leg, couldn't bear weight, and sat back down hard onto Reg. Reg's pupils instantly dilated, letting out a not so small muffled groan. Su Yaoyao was startled. She must have sat on him and hurt him. Reg, I'm sorry. Sorry, I can't stand up. Su Yaoyao could only try another way, wanting to turn sideways and slide down bit by bit. A tingling sensation spread. Reg's veins bulged on his arm. His large, rough palm grabbed Su Yaoyao's thigh, controlling her movement. Reg's voice grew a few shades huskier. He whispered softly not to move, then instantly shifted positions with her in his arms, pinning the little female beneath him. Breathing heavily with ragged gasps, a primal desire roared wildly within him. Yet it was held in check, torn between instinct and reason. His amber pupils gazed at her as if she were prey, staring fixedly at Su Yaoyao. The pressure was overwhelming, making it hard for her to breathe. Su Yaoyao asked timidly, did I hurt you? Sorry, I forgot. My foot is injured. Reg smirked mockingly. Hurt me? You really are confident in yourself. It's more likely I'd be the one hurting you. So fragile. You probably couldn't handle much, especially with an injury. After Reg composed himself, he slowly stood up and glanced at the open room. It was actually Bai Ling's. Bai Liang let you stay in his room. Su Yaoyao sat obediently on the floor. Hearing Bai Ling's name, her eyes lit up. Do you know where Leon is? Can you take me to him? Reg gritted his teeth in annoyance. So some people talk a good game on the surface, but secretly keep a beauty hidden away, claiming the little female for himself. He's in a meeting. The meeting is about you. Su Yaoyao tilted her head, somewhat puzzled. Reg curled the corner of his mouth. With a hint of mischief, he crouched down in front of Su Yaoyao, raised his hand and gripped her chin with his thumb and forefinger, forcing her to look up and meet his gaze. In the Star Glory Empire, females don't even make up 10% of the total population, leading to a severe decline in the Empire's offspring. If this continues, the Empire could even face extinction. And although you're a little waste without psychic abilities, You are a female with complete reproductive capabilities, suddenly falling from the sky. Do you think the Empire would let go of this opportunity? Bai Liang is discussing matching you with other males. Su Yaoyao's pupils constricted. The behavior of those 3 male boars forcing themselves on her replayed in her mind again. Tears instantly welled up. Reg saw her trembling all over with fear. Tears like broken pearls, falling one after another. Instantly, his heart felt uneasy. Little female, don't cry. I was teasing you. I said the wrong thing. Reg raised his hand and wiped Su Yaoyao's tears with his fingertip. But the little female just kept crying, and couldn't be comforted no matter what. Reg was at a loss for a moment. He simply didn't know how to comfort a little female. Su Yaoyao cried sorrowfully. Would they really give her to other males, to be used as a breeding tool? Just at that moment, her embrace grew warm. Then, a wet tongue was licking her cheek. Su Yaoyao opened her eyes in confusion and saw a juvenile black panther cub in his arms. Reg was equally shocked. His spiritual entity, without his permission, had suddenly emerged from the spiritual world and joyfully pounced into Su Yaoyao's embrace. Su Yaoyao reached out to stroke the little black panther. Its fur was relatively short and coarse, but stroking along the grain gave a sense of smoothness. Reg narrowed his eyes, forcefully suppressing the pleasurable sensation transmitted through the spiritual entity's shared senses. It felt good to every pore. He could feel Su Yaoyao's soft little hands caressing over his body. Reg tried to recall the spiritual entity, but the little black panther refused to go back and shamelessly licked Su Yaoyao's cheek again. This made Reg unable to bear watching. The barbs on its tongue made Su Yaoyao feel ticklish. She laughed out loud, and her tears finally stopped. This made Reg breathe a sigh of relief. The little female had finally stopped crying. Su Yaoyao picked up the little black panther and held it against her chest. A soft sensation transmitted over, making Reg's cheeks slightly redden. Su Yaoyao said in a delicate voice, "This little black panther, is it your pet?" Reg rested his cheek in his palm and looked away. "How did you know it's my pet? I feel like you two look quite alike. However, the little black panther is much cuter than Reg." Su Yaoyao lowered her head and kissed the top of the little black panther's head. She has loved small animals since childhood. This made Reg's entire body stiffen. This little female is really bold. Yet the spiritual body grew even more excited. Leaping upward in Su Yaoyao's embrace, it actually directly planted a kiss on her delicate lips. Su Yaoyao had a face full of smiles. She quite enjoyed it. Meanwhile, Reg's breathing had even become unsteady. He stood up and grabbed the little black panther by the scruff of its neck. Lifting it out of Su Yaoyao's embrace, the little black panther struggled, not wanting to leave Su Yaoyao's soft embrace at all. Reg gritted his teeth. His face red, he walked towards his own room. Suddenly, Su Yaoyao grabbed Reg's pant leg. Reg frowned and stared intently at Su Yaoyao, looking very impatient. This made Su Yaoyao's small hand tremble. She let go of Reg's pant leg, bit her lower lip, and asked somewhat fearfully, "Do you have any food? I'm a little hungry." Reg sighed helplessly. Consider it compensation for making her cry. With one hand, he released the little black panther cub, turned around, crouched down, and picked Su Yaoyao up. The end of the corridor was Reg's room. Reg placed her securely on the sofa, and the little black panther leaped and threw itself back into her arms. Reg turned around, took a bottle of nutrient fluid from the refrigerator, handed it to Su Yaoyao. "Drink it." Su Yaoyao took it over, looking puzzled at the light blue liquid in the glass bottle. "What kind of nutrient solution is this? It can quickly replenish the body's required energy and various nutrients. It gives a strong sense of fullness." Su Yaoyao opened the bottle cap, took a small sip, Her pretty eyebrows instantly furrowed into a bitter melon face. The nutrient solution in her mouth was so disgusting it was hard to swallow. This is just too awful to drink. Su Yaoyao put the cap back on, placed the nutrient solution aside, not planning to touch it again. Seeing this, Reg took out other colored nutrient solutions from the fridge. These are newly developed fruit-flavored nutrient solutions. They say the taste is pretty good. Su Yaoyao, half believing, picked a pink one, took a small taste, found it was strawberry flavored. Just like the taste of strawberry juice, it was much better than the previous bottle. Took several more sips in a row. Seeing Su Yaoyao's pleased expression, Reg smiled slightly, made a note of the flavor she liked. After finishing the bottle, Su Yaoyao licked her lips. It really does make you feel full. Having been observing the little female all along, Reg sensed she seemed a bit down. Su Yaoyao asked curiously, "Do you have ingredients here? Or is it that the interstellar world has already phased out green plants and vegetables?" Reg raised an eyebrow. Understood what she meant. There is, but the base. Here, efficiency is highly valued. No one is willing to waste time on cooking. But you receive the highest treatment. What would you like to eat? Tomorrow, I have someone arrange hot food for you. Upon hearing this, Su Yaoyao actually felt somewhat flattered. Anything is fine. I'm not picky about food. Reg's gaze glanced at the forgotten ordinary nutrient drink in the corner. That had only been taken a sip from. He teased saying, "Not picky. I think you're quite picky." Yaoyao scratched her cheek somewhat awkwardly. "I'm not used to drinking this. In the environment I used to live in, we always ate cooked food." Reg took the nutrient drink that Su Yaoyao had sipped from and drank it down in one gulp. Su Yaoyao's cheeks flushed slightly. "Reg, I drank from that." Reg held the empty bottle, slightly lost in thought. The taste was indeed the same as before, but after drinking it, he inexplicably felt a sense of comfort. It wasn't until Su Yaoyao spoke that he snapped out of it. Military resources are limited. If you don't drink it, and I don't drink it, should we just throw it away? Su Yaoyao momentarily wore an expression of embarrassment. Throwing it away would indeed be too wasteful. The little black leopard suddenly bared its teeth at Reg, as if saying, "You'd better watch your attitude." Reg let out a chuckle. "I'm your master, okay?" Su Yaoyao was startled. "Be good, bow." Her fair hand once again smoothed the little black leopard's fur over and over. It instantly narrowed its eyes, enjoying it immensely. Sitting obediently in Su Yaoyao's arms, Reg clenched his hand into a fist. Really? How much longer does he have to endure? Yet deep down, he was also extremely greedy for this sense of pleasure. Su Yaoyao freely stroked the little black panther, from its head all the way down the spine to the tip of its tail. Reg was caught off guard by the stroking. A shiver ran through his tailbone. His whole body trembled. His legs went so weak, he almost knelt down. He bit his lip hard to keep from making a sound. And over there, Su Yaoyao still had no intention of stopping. Curiously, she reached under the little black panther's belly. "Is it a boy or a girl?" "Male." Reg quickly reached out and grabbed Su Yaoyao's mischievous hand. His voice was very hoarse. His breathing was also somewhat rapid. Su Yaoyao looked up at the handsome, dark-skinned guy before her. "You don't look so good. Are you uncomfortable somewhere?" Reg blushed. Little buddy is about to explode from holding it in. "My body is perfectly normal. Don't touch it randomly. Be careful, it bites." Only then did Su Yaoyao withdraw her hand. Obediently nodding, the little black panther instantly became dissatisfied. "I would never bite Yaoyao. This is slander." In his anxiety, he flailed his little paw pads wildly in Su Yaoyao's arms, gazing pitifully at Su Yaoyao. Su Yaoyao's heart instantly melted from the cuteness. She picked up the little black panther and gave it a bunch of messy kisses, rubbing against its cheek, hugging it. So adorable. How could it ever hurt me? As she spoke, she kissed the little black panther on the forehead. The little black leopard also let out a milky cry in response. It really enjoyed the intimate interaction with Su Yaoyao. It even rolled over to show its belly, acting cute to get Su Yaoyao to pet it. However, before it could succeed, Reg picked it up by the scruff. Don't push your luck. One human and one beast stared each other down, eye to eye. The little black leopard growled at him with great dissatisfaction. Reg simply tossed it far away. His movements were extremely rough. Su Yaoyao gasped in alarm. He'll get hurt like that. Reg was somewhat impatient. Don't be fooled by his pitiful act. I know exactly how much he can handle. Without another word, he picked up Su Yaoyao. I'll take you back. Reg held Su Yaoyao with one arm and opened the door with the other. Afraid of falling, Su Yaoyao could only lean closer against him. Reg's pupils narrowed. Again, that sweet scent that bewitched him from the depths of his soul. It was very faint, only noticeable when close to Su Yaoyao. Is it the little female's natural scent? Before the little black leopard could follow them out, Reg closed the door. Su Yaoyao looked at the door with some regret. She hadn't even said goodbye to the little black leopard. She'll play with it next time. Reg strode forward with steady steps. The little female was especially light, almost weightless. Her body was also particularly soft and delicate, leaning obediently against him. For the first time, Reg felt that holding someone was quite comfortable. Stopped at the door of Bai Lang's room, about to open it. The door opened from the inside instead. Bai Lang returned from a meeting only to find Su Yaoyao missing. Worried, he immediately came out to search. It was then he encountered Reg at the door, with Yaoyao clinging to him. Bai Lang frowned slightly. Why was Yaoyao in Reg's arms? When did they become so close? Su Yaoyao beamed upon seeing Bai Lang. She stretched out her arms, wanting Bai Lang to hold her. Bai Lang naturally took the soft little female into his arms, having her back by his side. Finally allowed him to relax. Reg looked at his now empty embrace, feeling somewhat displeased. The sweet scent belonging to the little female, the soft sensation had all vanished. At that moment, Su Yaoyao smiled sweetly at Reg. Thank you for bringing me back. The little female's beautiful smile made Reg's heart flutter. His ears even turned red. You're welcome, Bai Lang inquired. Yaoyao, how did you end up with Reg? Su Yaoyao answered truthfully. I was hungry. Reg invited me to his room to taste fruit-flavored nutrient fluid. Reg crossed his arms. Feeling contempt internally, he shot a glare at Bai Lang. Upon hearing this, Bai Lang suddenly realized he had forgotten to prepare food for the little female. It was my fault for not taking good care of you. Su Yaoyao shook her head. Leon is very good. Did you bandage the injury on my foot? Bai Lang nodded. Su Yaoyao smiled. Leaning close to Bai Ling's ear, she said, thank you. Bai Ling's cheeks immediately flushed red. His heart was in turmoil. Seeing their intimacy, Reg's back teeth were almost grinding to pieces. He kept telling himself it was just a little good for nothing. But why did he care so much? Bai Liang steadied himself, thinking Yaoyao should rest now. So he said to Reg, then thank you, Deputy General Reg. It's late, you should sleep early. With that, he was about to return to the room and close the door. But Reg's large hand blocked the doorframe. The corner of Reg's mouth lifted slightly, carrying a hint of danger. His gaze kept sweeping over Su Yaoyao and Bai Liang. You said you'd give the little female the highest treatment. You wouldn't wrong her by making her squeeze into a bed with you, would you? Just thinking of this possibility, Reg's mood worsened further. Su Yaoyao's expression froze. Right. This was Bai Ling's room. She was taking his bed. Bai Liang said seriously. Tomorrow, I will arrange a brand new room for Yaoyao, and I will sleep in another empty room tonight. Hearing this satisfactory answer, Reg finally released his hand. He turned and walked back to his own room. Bai Liang carried Su Yaoyao, and after closing the door, gently placed her on the bed. I'll leave after you fall asleep. But Su Yaoyao felt somewhat embarrassed. This was her usurping another's place. Maybe I should go sleep in the empty room instead. Bai Liang smiled. Don't feel embarrassed. You're willing to use my room. It's my honor. Looking into Bai Ling's sincere eyes, Su Yaoyao stammered and said, I want to take a bath. Bai Ling's cheeks flushed red. Yao Yao wants to use his to bathe. His heartbeat inexplicably quickened a beat. After thinking for a moment, Bai Liang found a cloth strip and covered his eyes with it. Su Yaoyao looked at the man with exquisite features, his face covered by a white cloth strip, both pure and alluring. Just as she was coveting Bai Ling's good looks, the man extended both hands and accurately picked Su Yaoyao up by the waist. Su Yaoyao let out a gasp of surprise. Subconsciously, she wrapped her arms around Bai Ling's neck. Why was Bai Ling holding her so steadily? He lifted his foot and headed towards the bathroom. Your foot is injured. I'm not comfortable with you bathing alone. His voice was low and gentle, carrying a reassuring certainty. But these words, once they reached Su Yaoyao's ears, only made her heart grow more flustered. Wait, was Bai Ling going to bathe with her? Su Yaoyao's small face instantly flushed bright red. Don't move, be careful not to fall. Bai Ling's arm tightened slightly, holding her a little closer. His tone was full of tension. Su Yaoyao pouted. Then why are you walking with your eyes covered? Bai Liang gave a soft laugh. Don't worry, the layout of my room, the placement of every item, I'm very familiar with it. Soon, the two arrived at the bathroom door. Bai Liang freed one hand and gently pushed the bathroom door open. Warm yellow light instantly poured out. The following content. I know you all don't like to see it. This editor will take the liberty to skip it for you. After the two finished washing, Bai Liang stepped forward, slowly moving closer to Su Yaoyao. With each step, his heart carried a trace of anticipation. When Bai Liang finally reached the bedside, Su Yaoyao reached out and grabbed the clothes on his chest. Applying a little force, she made him bend down. Bai Liang obediently lowered his head. He could feel Yao Yao's breath close at hand. The warm breath wafted against his face, making his heartbeat involuntarily quicken. Su Yaoyao's fingers lightly touched the cloth strip, slowly untied him. The moment the cloth strip was removed, Bai Ling's vision from the darkness suddenly brightened. His gaze fell on Su Yaoyao's face. Her eyes were lively, the corners of her mouth slightly upturned, carrying a hint of playfulness and gentleness. His gaze finally settled on those pink lips, slightly parted. He dared not imagine how sweet they would taste. Bai Liang tightly clenched his own hand, struggling to restrain the impulse within his heart. How he wished to kiss Su Yaoyao at this moment, to hold her tightly in his arms. But he was afraid his impulse would startle her. A delicate female should be carefully cherished. Su Yaoyao seemed to notice Bai Ling's unusual state. Her small hand tugged at Bai Ling's clothes, softly asking what's wrong. Is there something on my face? Bai Liang looked at Yao Yao's face, so close at hand. His throat felt a bit tight. No, it's just that you are exceptionally beautiful. Su Yaoyao heard this. The smile on her face became even more radiant. Really? You're too good at complimenting people. The two of them just gazed at each other quietly. Time seemed to stop at this moment. In the room, a sweet and ambiguous atmosphere permeated, making both their heartbeats gradually. Bai Ling's breathing began to grow unsteady. The emotions in his heart became increasingly difficult to suppress. Finally unable to resist, he gently raised his hand and caressed Yao Yao's cheek. Yao Yao's face flushed slightly, shyly lowering her eyes, not daring to look. Bai Ling's large hand stroked her cheek. Yao Yao felt both nervous and excited in her heart. Bai Liang slowly lowered his head. Her lips drew closer and closer to Yao Yao's lips. She could feel Yao Yao's breathing becoming rapid. Just as her lips were about to touch Yao Yao's lips, he suddenly stopped. No, I can't do this. Yao Yao did not choose him as her beast husband. How could he, in a moment of impulse, tarnish the purity of the little female? If he really did this, what difference would there be from Reg? He looked at Yao Yao. His eyes filled with affection and restraint, slowly straightened up, creating distance from the ambiguous closeness. Softly said, "It's getting late. Yao Yao should sleep." Yao Yao, with the red face, turned around and quickly crawled under the covers. Her heartbeat hadn't yet calmed down. Did Bai Liang just want to kiss her? Bai Liang gently sat down by the bed. Yao Yao could feel the bed dip slightly. "I'll wait until you fall asleep before I leave." After a bout of tender actions from both sides, the exhausted little female had already fallen asleep. Bai Liang lowered his gaze to look at Yao Yao and smiled gently, tucking the blanket snugly around her. Just as he was about to walk out, his light brain wristband suddenly projected a virtual electronic screen. It was His Majesty, the Emperor of the Empire, sitting calmly upon the throne, symbolizing supreme power. He was clad in extremely luxurious court attire, silver hair gently cascading over his broad shoulders. Those dark red eyes were filled with majesty, as if the entire world was under his control. Bai Liang knelt on one knee, placing his right fist over his left chest. At the heart, this represented loyalty and devotion. Augustine's gaze passed over Bai Liang and looked towards Yao Yao on the bed. She lay on her side on the soft bed, like a lazy, curled-up little kitten, her pink cheek pressed into a shallow mark, her lips slightly pouted, inviting one's imagination. If lightly touched, would there be a sweet taste? Augustine narrowed his eyes slightly. Such a beautiful female is rare across the entire star system. This emperor has received your secret report. She is the human female you discovered. Bai Liang stood tall and straight. Yes, Your Majesty, and I have already ordered a lockdown on the information. Everything about her will not be leaked. Augustine raised an eyebrow slightly. A flicker of inquiry flashed in his eyes. Your intelligence report shows her psychic power is 0. Bai Liang explained. To be precise, the machine testing psychic power malfunctioned at that time and couldn't produce an exact result. Augustine frowned slightly. After pondering for a moment, he decisively ordered, bring her to the Imperial City as soon as possible to register her identity information and retest her psychic power level. Bai Liang was very worried. The little female's fragile body. What if she can't endure the journey and her injuries become more severe? Augustine gave concise instructions. This matter is entirely under your responsibility. You must bring her safely to the Imperial City. Yao Yao slept until the sun was high. Just as she wanted to stay in bed, a knocking sound arose. Reg's tall figure walked in. In one hand, he was also holding a ceramic bowl. Why is it you? Yao Yao blurted out, then quickly covered her mouth. Reg raised an eyebrow. It's not Bai Li. You're disappointed. Yao Yao smiled awkwardly. No. I'm pleasantly surprised. Deputy General Reg actually came to find me personally. Reg curled his lips into a smile. I always keep my word. Yesterday I said I would take responsibility for your meals. A bowl of steaming porridge was brought before Yao Yao. Yao Yao sniffed with the tip of her nose. It actually Had a peculiar scent blending ocean breeze and floral fragrance. How special. Reg had a somewhat smug look on his face. He had specially invited a master chef. The ingredients used were also top-notch. That was natural. This was genetically optimized grain, added with new dates grown on the seabed, extremely difficult to harvest. A porridge simmered for 2 hours. Reg tempted. Nutritious. Delicious in flavor. Want to give it a try? Su Yaoyao's eyes lit up. She had never tasted alien plants before. And she was indeed hungry. Reg revealed a mischievous smile. The little female was indeed quite naive. Go ahead and eat. Su Yaoyao took the porridge, picked up a spoon, and scooped a spoonful. Just as it reached her mouth, she stopped. Reg asked, puzzled, "What's wrong?" Su Yaoyao was somewhat embarrassed. I haven't brushed my teeth yet." Reg smiled, bent down and scooped Su Yaoyao out from under the covers, hoisted her onto his shoulder. Su Yaoyao let out a gasp of surprise, feeling the man's solid arms and his body heat, transmitted through just a layer of shirt fabric, pressed too close. Su Yaoyao's entire face turned red. She wasn't wearing that thing. Reg also felt. Today, the little female's body, pressed against his, felt even softer. Carried her to the bathroom, placed her on the wash basin counter. She discovered that the dirty clothes from yesterday, including her own undergarments, were all gone. Did Bai Liang take them to wash? Thinking about her intimate clothing being taken by a man, Su Yaoyao's small face inexplicably grew hot. Su Yaoyao snapped back to reality. Reg's entire face was right in front of her eyes. His wild, refined features were exceptionally sexually charged. His drooping hair even lightly brushed past her eyes. Reg braced one hand on the mirror and placed the other on the sink counter beside her thigh, pinning her within the bounds of his territory. His scorching breath sprayed onto Su Yaoyao's face, making her heartbeat instantly AC. Celerate Bai Liang was a very considerate and gentlemanly man, but the feeling Reg gave her was completely different. It was aggressive, invasive. You're not thinking about Bai Liang, are you? Reg smirked evilly, his amber pupils carrying a hint of chill. Su Yaoyao was speechless. She indeed was thinking about Bai Liang. That's right. Reg narrowed his eyes slightly, withdrew his smile. Seems he had guessed correctly. An irritable mood surged up. Reg instantly lowered his head, opened his mouth, and bit Su Yaoyao's fair neck. Pain spread from Su Yaoyao's neck. Reg, are you a dog? But Reg had no intention of letting go. Instead, he bit down even harder. Su Yaoyao hurt until tears welled in the corners of her eyes, pushing against Reg's chest, but couldn't move him at all. She even tore off a button from Reg's chest. He remained unmoved, until small beads of blood emerged from the bite mark. Reg finally released his bite. Then the scalding tip of the tongue gave a lick, drawing the bead of blood into the belly. Instantly, a resonance transmitted through both the body and the spiritual world. An indescribable pleasure filled the entire soul. Reg's face flushed red, panting heavily, the scorching breath all sprayed onto Su Yaoyao's fair neck. Originally planning to take advantage of the situation, to gain experience by using a kiss as payment. But just now, Su Yaoyao's blushing appearance was extremely cute and enticing. Yet it was because she was thinking of another male that she revealed such a shy expression, making him grit his teeth in anger. He angrily bit down. Reg licked the slightly broken skin wound again and again. The sweet little beads of blood were all consumed by him without missing a drop. His spiritual world was like a parched desert, suddenly infused with the drop of water, allowing him to find life in a desperate situation. To make an S-class like him experience soul resonance, this loss of control indicated that Su Yaoyao's spiritual power was very strong. At least S-class. Reg's other arm tightly encircled her slender waist, lifting her up. Su Yaoyao, afraid of falling, instinctively wrapped her legs around his waist. Indeed, their bodies pressed even closer together. Reg kissed her while carrying her toward the room. Lu Yaoyao was almost kissed breathless, wanting him to stop. But only whimpers came out, finally released from the kiss, only to be instantly thrown onto the bed by Reg. Her body was too light. It even bounced a couple of times. Reg's gaze was dark and deep, filled with intense possessiveness. He concealed the silvery strand lingering at the corner of his mouth. Not a single drop of Su Yaoyao's semen could be wasted. As for the clothes on her body, they had long been torn into disarray by Su Yaoyao. Several buttons had already fallen off. With one forceful tug, the remaining buttons finally gave way under the strain, all bursting apart, revealing a robust chest and tight abdominal muscles. Reg knelt on the bed with one leg, his entire body pressing down. Su Yaoyao struggled to lift her uninjured leg, kicking the man squarely in the chest. Reg curled the corner of his lips, his large hand grasping Su Yaoyao's slender ankle, his dark skin exuding an untamed wildness. Su Yaoyao's fair skin, pure and flawless like first snow, formed a stark contrast. Reg lowered his head, kissing Su Yaoyao's ankle. Su Yaoyao bent her leg, struggling. And because of Su Yaoyao's leg lifting movement, the hem of the oversized shirt instantly slid down to her waist. Reg's pupils trembled slightly. His Adam's apple bobbed up and down, overwhelmed with desire. Pervert! Su Yaoyao blushed crimson. She raised her hand to pull the hem down for cover, and shouted out loud. Meanwhile, Bai Liang, who had just returned from shopping in the corridor, hearing Su Yaoyao's cry, instantly pushed the door open. The scene before him made his pupils contract sharply. He rushed forward in fury. Pull Reg off the bed. He just punched him right in the face. Bastard, what have you done? Reg licked his cheek, feeling very displeased. He let out a cold laugh. Bai Liang, stop pretending. I won't let you monopolize the little female. Only you receiving spiritual comfort is too unfair. Bai Liang frowned tightly. In the Star Glory Empire, females can naturally have multiple husbands. Jealous beast. Husbands will be abandoned by their master. Hating that Reg, seeing Bai Liang fall silent, felt that all his previous suspicions were confirmed, instantly flying into a rage. Bai Liang, you hypocrite. Reg, not to be outdone, threw a punch over. Bai Liang's mouth was even bloodied from the hit. Su Yaoyao was terrified, burst into tears instantly. The two who were about to come to blows only stopped their actions upon hearing the little female's cries. Oh no, we scared the little female. Reg took a few steps closer, but saw Su Yaoyao shrink back in fear, and immediately halted his steps. Instead, Bai Liang stepped forward and embraced Su Yaoyao, wrapping the blanket around her entire body. Yaoyao, don't be afraid. As long as I'm here, no one can hurt you. Su Yaoyao leaned against his chest and cried. The situation just now had truly frightened her. Reg watched their intimate display and lowered his head. In the past, he thought it wasn't so bad if others were afraid of him. But now, he didn't want Su Yaoyao to fear him and stay away from him. He also longed to be close to Su Yaoyao naturally, like Bai Liang could. Reg clenched his fist. He actually didn't know what to do. He had never loved anyone before. In the end, he walked out helplessly. Bai Liang gently comforted Su Yaoyao. Stop crying. It's all right now. He raised his hand to wipe away the tears at the corner of her eye. Su Yaoyao's eyes were brimming with tears. Through her sobs, she saw the wound at the corner of Bai Liang's mouth, and carefully touched it with her fingertip. Bai Liang smiled slightly. The little female was crying so hard she could barely catch her breath, yet still found time to care about him. He closed his eyes and kissed her fingertip. Beastmen have strong self-healing abilities. This is nothing at all. Su Yaoyao was still somewhat worried. You go find Panny and have a look. Bai Liang nodded and agreed, okay. Su Yaoyao turned her head to glance in the direction where Reg had just been. She found he was already gone. He was punched by Bai Liang. Don't know how he is now. The crying gradually stopped. She raised her hand to touch her own lips. Her heartbeat sped up again. Bai Liang noticed something was off. He raised his hand and gently lifted Su Yaoyao's chin. Su Yaoyao's delicate lips were red and swollen, even a bit chapped. There was clearly a bite mark on Su Yaoyao's neck. The red mark was especially obvious against her fair skin. His pure blue eyes narrowed slightly. He looked up. Their eyes met. He asked, "What did Reg do to you?" Su Yaoyao's little face turned bright red. How could she possibly say it out loud? Bai Ling's deep voice sounded again. "Are there any other marks on your body?" His gaze kept moving downward. His whole demeanor also became somewhat gloomy. He even reached out and pulled away the blanket wrapped around Su Yaoyao's chest. Su Yaoyao, frightened, hurriedly pulled the blanket back. "And no, there aren't." Bai Liang paused. Slowly let go of the blanket. His emotions had nearly spiraled out of control just then. Su Yaoyao noticed Bai Ling's expression wasn't good. Blushing, she cried out, "No, me and him, we didn't do anything. I just don't know why Reg did that. He suddenly kissed me." Bai Liang raised his hand and rubbed Su Yaoyao's hair. To comfort her, "I will handle this matter and give him the punishment he deserves." Bai Liang wanted to change the little female's mood. He took out a jewelry gift box from his pocket. Inside was an exquisite necklace. "By the way, I went to town for supplies today and found this. It suits you quite well. So pretty." Su Yaoyao couldn't help but let out a sigh of admiration. Her mood improved a lot along with it. Bai Liang smiled slightly. "I'm glad you like it. Let me help you put it on." Su Yaoyao swept her beautiful hair to one side in front of her chest to make it easier for Bai Liang to put it on. Bai Liang picked up the necklace and moved closer to her. He also really wanted to taste what the flavor of Yaoyao's neck and lips would be. "Is it done?" Su Yaoyao's soft, delicate voice brought him back from his dark thoughts. He closed his eyes for a moment and then opened them. Once again, he was the gentle and gentlemanly Bai Liang. He deftly fastened the necklace for the little female, without even touching the little female's skin. Done. The cool blue of the sapphire complemented her fair skin, like a blue flower blooming in a world of ice and snow. Stunningly beautiful. Su Yaoyao touched the gemstone necklace on her chest. She liked it immensely. She had never worn jewelry before. Fingerprint entry successful. Suddenly, the necklace emitted a mechanical sound. It startled Su Yaoyao. "Can necklaces talk?" Bai Liang smiled, watching Su Yaoyao's reaction with interest. "Actually, it's a type of light brain, but it was made in the style of a necklace. I heard it's very popular in the royal city. Females all like it." "What is a light brain?" Su Yaoyao asked somewhat curiously. "You can think of it as a communication tool. When I'm not by your side, you can use the light brain to contact me." Su Yaoyao nodded. "Understood. It's similar to a mobile phone." Bai Liang continued. "Your identity information hasn't been registered in the royal city yet. Many functions are temporarily unavailable. Do you need me to teach you how to use it?" Upon hearing this, Su Yaoyao felt her competitive spirit rise. "Don't you underestimate me. I'll figure it out on my own."